lawful wedded husband.
To be my...
Barbara not Barbara Jean's heart.
With a tramp like you?
Well, I know it hurts being third rate, but aren't you accustomed to it yet?
Oh, Robin, I see.
I myself the slut of Springfield!
Son of a bitch in heat. I found out myself what love is all about.
Hey everybody, it's me, Nikki. Hey y'all, we're here for a recap review of what them soaps talking about General Hospital. I know I've been gone a minute when it comes to General Hospital, but we're back again. Like we never left, right? So let's get into it. First of all, it's gonna be some quick, some light, some real fluffy, not too much. Because it's gonna be a long week this week, right? So let's really get into like the highlights of everything because we're talking about the highlights. One of the highlights is Diane shutting down Ezra. Oh, Ezra. That's sad. Oof. And Drew from destroying the family crypt. Monica actually goes with Gio and Emma's idea of allocating some of the land to the environment fund or whatever it was, and they leave the crypt alone. The crypt is stayed there, and it's a face crack moment because it's like, oh yeah, y'all can't do that. But shout out to Yuri for telling Yuri and Tracy are top tier because Tracy was sitting in the lotus position the whole time they had her hemmed up, and Yuri was like, resist, don't let him take you, go limp. And what she do, she went limp, and they was having a hard time trying to drag her up out of there. But Diane and Monica came in clutch for the win, and Ezra and Drew get shut down. Mind you, Ezra is trying to talk to Jordan into basically turning on Laura because Laura is too close to Sunny, and Laura is this and Laura is that, and it's just like, y'all so worried about Sunny, y'all not worried about the WSB coming in and causing issues, y'all not worried about Sidwell, y'all not worried about Ezra or Drew. That's what's gonna screw y'all up in the end. Sunny is a lot of things, but like I told y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all again, they smuggle a little electronic, a little coffee, a little technology, okay, maybe a little jewelry, a little art, but they don't deal in people or drugs or weapons, and we keep it just like that. The shootouts that happen in Port Charles happen because people are trying to bring drugs and weapons and people through the docks and all that stuff, and y'all would think that would be Sonny's fault. Because y'all claim that's Sonny's fault because it's all Sonny's doing, but Sonny really be trying to keep that stuff out of there, but y'all blame him for it. But hey, get rid of Sonny and let's see how well that works out for y'all, because the cops don't do goddamn thing down there. But we'll see. So Ezra goes down there to see Drufus, and he's like, how are their faces? Were they sad? Were they upset? How was it when it was destroyed? Like, he is getting his rocks off. Okay, he came in his pants at the idea of destroying the final resting place of a lot of the Quartermains. And Ezra shuts him down, face crack. Oh, shut it down. Boof. Hey, no. The crypt is still there. You also have to go by Kane now. You can't go by Quartermain. You are going to be Drew Kane. Point blank, and what the period. You can't do anything else. Why? Because Monica made it so. And it's just like, you really thought Monica was just going to allow you to not only use the Quartermain name, while also destroying the final resting place of her husband, her son, and both of her daughters, and all the other family members that she's cared about over the years. You were sadly mistaken. Okay, I don't know where they do that at, but they don't do that here. Don't play with Monica like that. We also got an episode dedicated to Monica and the cardiac wing that especially for her, and Sonny donated some of the money, but he didn't want to say he did because Monica hates him, rightfully so. Look at what happened to her son. Just saying. So then we get into the fact that Kristina cut Rick's brakes because she thought she was cutting Ava's brakes, and they know that. Lucky knows it, but he's not gonna tell Liz. Rick knows it, but he lied to Liz's face. The only evidence of, the cut brakes would be Rick's car, but that's already been crushed. And the video that Ava has of quote unquote Kristina cutting the brakes, which you can't really prove that Kristina cut the brakes, but she cut them goddamn brakes. So at this point in time that they didn't put two together and they know all this stuff, mind you, meantime in between time of Rick being in a hospital and being rushed there, Molly and Kristina have forged a better relationship, or so we think. But what is that going to look like when Molly finds out that Kristina cut them brakes and caused her daddy to be in a hospital? Granted, it was a little touch and go for Liz and Rick for a second, but they cool, they fine, they okay. They is a-okay. So what does this look like for Kristina? Well, Rick told Ava, you could go and blackmail her to get some, talking about Alexis, you can go and blackmail her to get some money, but this is going to be a bad situation for you, possibly, in a roundabout way. That's what he said. And I was like, I hate to agree with him, but he's right. You go down there and blackmail Alexis, it's probably not going to go well for you in the end when everything comes out. So what does she do? She disregards all that because he's for the blackmailing, because obviously Kristina's never held accountable and he's never liked Kristina. As much as the people hate Kristina and her character and feel some type of way about her, Rick has always hated her since she was a child. He's hated her since then. The only reason Molly was ever born or had the possibility of being born is because he married Alexis to in order to raise Kristina and get back at Sonny, and aha, I got your bitch type situation. And then they had Molly and he pushed Kristina to the wayside. The crazy thing is he is Kristina's godfather. Him and Carly are this that's the crazy situation. I always find that funny and crazy at the same time. Your uncle, who's also your stepfather, who's also your godfather, hates your guts because you are the daughter of his brother. But he honestly hates all of Sonny's kids. If y'all think about it, he hates all of Sonny's children except for Avery because he likes Ava. He hates Dante. He hated Michael. He hated Morgan. He tore, like, yeah, he hated Kristina. He probably hated little baby Donna. He hates all of Sonny's children. So this isn't just a Kristina thing. He doesn't give a damn about any of Sonny's children. But any child that Sonny has with any woman that he can get his hooks into, he treats them good up until the point where he can get a child up out of them. And then it's like, you need to give time and space and energy to my kids and not theirs. But Ava goes off and she goes to blackmail Alexis. And Alexis is like, you can't prove that that is her. And da 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 da. And Ava basically tells her, well, we'll see, because I'm going to show this to whoever I want to. And what's that going to look like for Molly and Kristina? Kristina's this, Kristina's that. Basically, embezzle money from the Cassadine fortune to get the money to Ava. And it's just like, she can't do that. She couldn't do it if she wanted to. But Ava's not worried about that. But it's just like, Ava, the only reason you ain't got that money no more is because you turned your back on Valentine at some point, and he was like, "Oh, bitch, I'm gonna pay you back. I'm gonna pay you back for everything." So Alexis tells Diane about this entire situation, and Diane says, "Have Kristina committed. Have her committed to Ferncliff. I know you're upset. I know you're gonna feel some type of way. I know this is probably gonna hurt you, but she needs to be somewhere to get her some real help. She's been needing help. She needed help after baby Natasha died. That's what I named her, because Irene and Adela are two old ass names, and that would just been wrong to name a child that. But she needed help after baby Natasha died, and then the situation with Kate's, her and Molly fighting all the damn time, that situation, the court, Sam dying, you almost going to prison for disposing of the gun that she took from Sonny that the people had thought she used to pew pew, right? Agent Kate. There are so many things that add up that she needed to be in Ferncliff a long time ago. She needs help. Well, Sonny will never go for it. Well, Sonny understands mental health and everything that goes into it, and he's the one who told her she needed to go see a therapist. So you need to have her committed. But she's never going to go on her own. Well, you can have her involuntarily committed, and if you have her committed, she's going to get the help she needs. Also, eventually, when it comes out, nobody is going to be upset with her, really, because Molly is going to forgive her when they realize that mentally she was very much unstable, and Liz eventually is going to forgive her. She's not going to forgive Lucky, and she's definitely not going to forgive Rick for lying to her, because everybody knows what happened, and Liz is blaming herself, and it's just like, come on now. Come on, we know what it is. But I agree. I mean, I thought Christina needed to do jail time, but she also has shown that she is definitely moving into the realms of being psychotic. It's kind of giving a la Helena Cassadine, not too much, just a little bit. It's time for her to go get the help she needs. She needed help after the baby died, and she didn't do it. Maybe it's to help her get her anger under control. Maybe we can figure out what's going on with her. Maybe she got split personalities and we just don't know. But Christina definitely needs to get help. And I'm with Diane. Commit her to Ferncliff. I don't care how she feels about this situation. She's been needed help. And she's not getting the right help that she needs because obviously this whole one-on-one therapy session stuff ain't really working for her right now. So send her to Ferncliff. I have no problems with that. Lulu is ready to tell Dante about him and Brooklyn having a son. Brooklyn is ready to tell Dante herself. It's all becoming too much. Brooklyn because she feels guilty and she also wants to look for her son. Lulu more on the fact that she's in love with Dante and she wants Brooklyn to look as trifling and disgusting and downright nasty as she possibly can in his eyes because she feels some type of way about him not telling her about their summer together when really it wasn't even a full summer together. They were studying to be camp counselors together. They had a woo type situation one time and she got pregnant and she left camp. So it wasn't really much of that. But you always feel I feel like Lulu always feels less than Brooklyn, or she always feels like Brooklyn is out to get her and trying to take her man. But it's just like Lulu, at some point you were Brooklyn. Dante, not, you were Brooklyn at some point, not Dante. Dylan and Georgie, must we forget? The only difference is Brooklyn had her baby and she gave up her baby for adoption. You decided to go to the, have a deletion. That's the only difference. Also, Dante wasn't married when him and Brooklyn did what they did. But Dylan was married to Georgie when y'all did what y'all did. I don't want to hear it from Lulu. Those who live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. And in your case, you shouldn't be throwing stones at her glass house if you don't want her to throw a big ass boulder at yours and remind you of your history. And Cody felt some type of way because Cody was like, you said that, and what the hell is going on? Don't play with me. A con or a con, and you're not a good con. And I was like, well, she's not good at her job. She's not. But everybody is ready to tell Dante the truth. And it's just like, who's going to do it first? And will it come out at the nurses' ball? Because Kai and Trina are supposed to be performing at the nurses' ball. At some point in time, Gio and Emma probably going to be performing at the nurses' ball. And that's when the paternity and everything will come out, which is messy. I'm high-key hoping because the nurses' ball is maybe a month or two away, that this will be the return of Michael. Maybe, hopefully, I don't know. Did y'all know the actor who played Kane is coming? He's about to be playing a professor who is intricate to the WSB on General Hospital. We love to see it. We love to see it. He's back now. Like I said, WSB is here. Jocelyn is back from her training. She has a handler. Her handler tells her, I need you to get into this professor's class and I need you to get the job as his assistant. That is your assignment. She also thanked Emma for, being there when she couldn't. So maybe they're turning a new leaf. Who the hell knows? But what we do know is the reason why Emma got kicked out of school is because she and a group of her, activist friends broke into a lab and set it on fire and almost killed a security guard. So the party was at cover, but she got expelled. She feels bad about almost killing the security guard, but it's just like, girl, you need to, if you're gonna set a lab on fire and all that stuff, you need to make sure everybody else, you know what? Stop setting labs on fire. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. But she feels bad. But the question is, what will we see with Emma? Will we see this get toted out and thrown in her face by a lot of people? Will, every time a lab catch on fire, will it be like, Emma Drake did it. Emma Scorpio Drake did it. What does this mean for her? I don't know, but she did feel bad. I believed her. I believed her. Now, Sonny then, dropped Natalia like a hot pocket fresh out the microwave that you bit into. He dropped her because he found out that she was married. Well, she told him she used to be married to Sidwell. And he was like, listen, at this point in time in the point in my life, I need people who are going to be cool with me, who are going to be down with me, and who are trustworthy. And I can't trust you to be trustworthy had you've been married to that man at some point. I can't trust you. So he broke up with her. And it's just like, well, it's been a long Long time coming. We've been waiting on this. I've been waiting for this one. Yeah, we have. Hallelujah. Suck it to you. Oh, yeah. Casey, JoJo. Listen, we've been waiting for this one. Mind you, Marco is here, and Marco is, I forgot if he is her son or if he's Sidwell's son, but he's somebody's son. And it's just like, how many damn kids you got, lady? How many kids do you have? This is messy. It's getting messy. It's getting messy. It's definitely messy. But Marco and Lucas are having a name moment, and Brad has seen all of this. Like I told y'all, this is some quick the highlights. This is also messy. And then we get into the pure D mess, the pure D foolishness of it all. Willow, stupid ass, has decided to move her children, well, Michael and her children, into the home with Drew. And the kids, like, Monica has not seen the kids in weeks. That's how disrespectful this situation has gotten. Monica has not seen those children in weeks. Tracy is not having it, and she rolls up on Carly and tells Carly, you need to talk to her because this is getting messier and messier and messier. She tells Jason, you need to be here for family. You need to, really help us out. You need to fix this situation. He said he will. Sasha tells him after he, because he convinces Sasha to raise the baby at the Quartermain estate because she would need family around, she would need help, and also whether Monica knows who the biological father of that baby is or not, it's a good thing to have family around, right? And Danny is going, traveling the highways and the byways, doing what the Lord told him to do to be able to see his sister, since Drew is keeping them away from each other, right? But the problem is, Sasha explains to explains to Jason, you can't go over there and tell Willow what to do or tell her how wrong the situation is because you would be the villain in her story. Her and Drew truly believe that they are the victims of this entire thing. They think that they're the victims and you would be a villain in their story because they're star-crossed lovers who are victims of everyone trying to keep them apart, even though they was wrong as two left shoes for starting that affair. It was an emotional affair that turned physical, and it's messy as hell. So Carly rolls up on them like, what the hell are you doing? Like, what's going on here? She almost slapped Willow. Willow is kind of giving it to her, and so is Drew. But they're like, Michael isn't here. Michael does whatever you want him to do. He would be at Johns Hopkins. And she was like, getting what? Subpar care? Getting subpar care. He's in Germany getting the best care he can to get back to his children faster. Johns Hopkins, he probably would have been there for years getting care while you was shacked up with his uncle and his children. And she's just like, those are my children. You have no say in what happens. Neither does Michael. Out of sight, out of mind. Basically said, Michael, it really doesn't matter what he wants or what he needs. And it doesn't matter that he's the father of those children because since I have them and I'm the actual parent here, out of sight, out of mind, I'm making the decisions and nobody cares about him. That was basically the type of time Willow was on. And Carly is like, I never saw her before, but you're exactly like Nell. The only difference is she actually loved Michael. And I was like, well, I mean, she's not lying. Nell was batshit crazy, but she did like him, and at some point she did love him. But she was crazy, and she had a little razzle dazzle, and at least she owned her stuff. She was a professional victim, but at least at some point in time she owned what she did. It's just like, child, please, and I do it again. Bop, bop. That's the type of time Nell was on. Y'all needed to bring Nell back for this situation because Nell and Carly teaming up to put Willow in her place when it came to the Wiley situation would have been hilarious. And Carly promises, because she almost slapped that girl, but Jason stopped it. She promises that she's going to make sure that she helps Michael keep his kids. And she was like, Willow was like, you almost slapped me, the mother of your grandchildren. She was like, for now, because it's like at the end of the day has to end. Before the day ends, Willow is going to lose everything. You are going to lose everything. Everything. And Drufus is like, I'm just gonna make sure you get everything you want, make sure you keep your kids, and it's just like you're not gonna be able to do that with the way you're moving and operating in this world. But we'll see. We'll see if she gets to keep those kids. I don't think she's gonna keep them kids whatsoever. I can't wait for Michael to come back. I need him to come back guns blazing. I need him to come back just downright grimy, dragging through the mud, and Drew as well, because you dummies were having an emotional affair. It turned physical. Y'all are wrong. And y'all are definitely wrong moving them kids into that house and playing happy family. Michael's out of sight, out of mind. What happens when he come back? Y'all act like he abandoned his children. Y'all act like he abandoned his children. If you really cared about Michael, you would have went to Germany with him or been in Germany living with the children while he got better. If you cared about Michael, you wouldn't have held him as leverage against the rest of the Quartermains and Carly and Sonny in order to get the kids. If you truly cared about Michael, you wouldn't have taken Wiley across state lines to go to Drew's thing when it comes to being in Congress, which to be a congressman, he is never where he needs to be. And on top of that, if you actually cared about Michael, you would stop lying about we had problems before this. What problems? You never said y'all had problems. You weren't gushing about how y'all had problems when you were talking to Nina, when you were telling her about your crush on Drew and how you like him and how y'all kissed and you want to do it again. Y'all didn't have problems then. You're pulling it out of your ass because you're trying to make excuses for your bad behavior, and I can't with her. But we're going to see what happens for this week. And with that being said, that was it. That was all I had to give y'all. If y'all liked it, like, comment, subscribe, turn your post notifications on, and share me with your people. And if you didn't, still do all those things I mentioned before. And tell a friend to tell a friend to tell an aunt to tell an enemy to tell that hoe you've been beefing with since birth. Then we got a lot of good content over here. And with that being said, I'll see y'all for the next one. I love everybody. Bye.